Hey, oh, excuse me. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys have been having a good week. I've had a good week. It's been busy. It's time for the ramblings. So they're a little late. As you notice, the background is a completely different color. Autumn painted the office this week. I would say but I didn't really paint it, but I helped get all the furniture in the center and move it out. So that's why it's been a delay getting this out, because we've been busy doing this, moving furniture, getting it out of the way, getting it all clean. And this is kind of the office slash guest room. So we haven't got the Trimble bed in here yet, but we're going to get a Trimble bed in here, and then we can move, like when we have company, they can sleep there. And if we have to, we can move the desk, and if it's a married couple, they can, anyways, you get the idea. Busy week. It was kind of like, it was weird because right around not Wednesday, maybe a little bit on Wednesday, but a lot on Thursday and Friday morning. I was really tired, which is unusual because Thursday morning, not so much. I can be tired on Thursday morning because I work late on Wednesday night, but it wasn't that kind of tired. It was just this kind of draining. I don't know if I got a cold and I just had to get over it. I don't know what happened there, but fortunately, did not affect my workouts. I got all 5 days in. I'm going to do a good stretch today. It's about a 20-minute stretching thing that Sean T does for Saturdays. I'm going to get that done. And the one thing I've been doing this round, I told you I've been taking this pretty serious this time about the Insanity 30 Max, a lot more serious than I did last time. I want to get back down to where I was before I got really sick and got lazy. I want to get back down to that size again. So all my clothes fit good. It really has nothing to do about looking good. It all has to do with my clothes fitting good. So I don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new clothes because I'm cheap. So it's really just about my clothes fitting better. And so I want to get back down to that size. And I've been measuring this time just to see. And I was really surprised that how much I lost in the first couple weeks just in my neck size, like went down like almost 2 inches. So I don't know if I was mismeasuring or if that's really happened. That's crazy. Oh man, as some of you know, I've talked about this before. I've been, this year I started more serious reading through the Gospels. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just reading straight through the Gospels, and then I'm going to go back and actually study them and take notes and write things down. And maybe what I'll do is once I get done reading them all, I'll start typing out my notes and blogging about them and being more, taking 1 week and one whole section, write out a blog on it. I don't want to do a sermon series on it because that would take forever, and it's not how I like to do sermon series. I am doing one through Galatians, which is a lot of fun. But anyways, I was reading Matthew this week, and I'm almost done with Matthew, which means when I get done with that, I'll go on to the next book, which is... It's Matthew, is it Matthew, Luke, John? No, John's the last. Anyways, Mark, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So it'll be Mark next. But I was reading through it, and I came across this really interesting piece of scripture. And I always love reading. When you read, you see things differently each time you read it. But I was reading Matthew. It was in chapter 12, and Christ is talking about being merciful over sacrifices, and he was talking to the Sadducees who were like, hey, shouldn't you observe this and shouldn't you not work? And so he's talking to them. He says, it is better to be merciful than for the sacrifices you give me to know God. And he was actually quoting Hosea 6:6, where Hosea, the prophet, was saying, and God says, he wants your mercy. He wants mercy more than your sacrifices, for he wants you to know him better. And I was like, this is interesting because the Old Testament is telling us exactly what the New Testament is telling us, and that is that God wants to know us wants us to know him intimately. He just doesn't want us to know the knowledge and the laws and the things that we're supposed to do and not do. He wants us to actually know him and know who he is and understand and be intimate with him. So just a little thought there that, we don't serve or follow a God that's just like, do what I say. We follow a God that says, I want you to know me, and I want you to know me intimately, and I want you to have mercy, not just on people, but just have mercy. And that's something important to think about. What else do I want to? I'm been jotting down different things throughout the week that I want to ramble about, because I get done with these and I'm like, oh man, I meant to. So I just kind of jot down different things throughout the week that I want to talk about. Crowder. I have been just listening to Crowder music all week. And the thing is, I've been watching his YouTube videos from his live concerts, and I love the live concerts so much better than I do the CD. I've always liked live shows better. They're more intimate. They're more, so I have a list of people I want to see in concert. You know, Crowder's now on that list. Chris Tomlin's always been on that list. Carrie Job would be great to see. Who else? I've seen Toby Mac once or twice, and he's fun. He's fun to see. I've seen him a couple different times. I Am They. I am still, it was like a, just as I discovered I Am They were 40 minutes away from where I live, and I was unable to go to that concert. I was so disappointed, so I would have loved to go and watch that concert. So I Am They. I love Ren Collective. I don't know if you've listened to them, but Ren Collective is a lot of fun. I love Lighthouse, and they're just a lot of fun. I would love to see them. Crowder. So anyways, Crowder, I really have been enjoying Crowder a lot this week, and we'll probably listen to him a couple more times. What else do we have? What else? Snow. We got snow over this is crazy. Okay, so first part of the week, they're saying we were going to get like 8 inches of snow. Monday, Friday, you're going to have 8 inches of snow. Okay. So I expected work to be crazy in the store, and it was not. It was not really that crazy. Never got crazy. So by the middle of the week, Wednesday, which we did get snow Wednesday, not much, but a little bit. Wednesday we got some. We were a little crazy on Wednesday, but not as much as I would have anticipated. And then Thursday I expected it to just be all out craziness, and it wasn't. The store part was, but the pharmacy part was not. So last night it starts to snow, and that is like probably, like we'd been dead for an hour, like 5:30 to 6:30. Probably saw like 2 people. And then all of a sudden it starts snowing, and people are going, hey, it's snowing outside. Okay, roads are starting to get bad. Oh, well, what do you had all day to get in here to drop. Anywho, but this is the crazy part. This happens every single time they start calling for a major storm before like 5 days ahead. It never happens. We got like maybe 2 inches, 2.5 at the most outside. Me and Autumn walked down to Deb's Cafe this morning to get our breakfast, because we just prefer to walk because it takes us longer to get in the car, drive down there, park, and get out. That's how close it is. And the sidewalks weren't that bad. The roads weren't that bad. They had them all cleaned up. Now, granted that this thing shifted where they didn't expect it to, I guess, or I don't know, they started calling for less amounts by Wednesday. Oh, we think it shifted, you know. But 40 minutes, let's see, where my Autumn's sister lives, which is about an hour away from us, they got 12 inches, and then Kentucky was a mess, DC is a mess, New York City is a mess. So hey, you guys that live in the DC, New York area, be safe out there. Lots of snow. We did not get a major snow event. I don't know. I feel probably going to be a really short winter. I feel like February, middle of February, the winter will start to end, and it will be early. I'm hoping, because there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to try to get a lot of things I want to try to get done today. I'm going to try to get, we got these plantation shutters to put up on the windows in our sitting room / library downstairs. I hope to get them up today. I got to trim them a little bit because they're 20 inches. In the windows, when I measured them, I was pretty sure they were 20 inches. What I didn't think about was when I measured them, I just did like a real quick measure, and they're 20 inches, but they're actually about 19, maybe. They're just off by like a couple centimeters. So I've got to trim. I got to trim them. I'm hoping to get the jigsaw out and trim them and get them up, hang them up today. get that all done. It'll look great. The dogs won't be able to look out. We'll get plenty of light in, and the dogs won't be able to bark at people walking by. So hope to get that done today. Because I was so tired and because the office was a mess, I didn't get some of the stuff done. Normally, this is my day off and I don't do anything. But I'm going to have to do a couple things on my sermon for tomorrow, but I've pretty much got it done. So that's only going to take me maybe an hour to do. And then I'll start working on next Sunday's sermon, so I can try to have that done on Tuesdays. I always like to have the sermons done early. And I say done, and done doesn't necessarily mean I've got everything typed out. Done means that it's done in my mind, and I can just quickly type it out then on Thursday or Friday night, and then take Saturday off. We've been watching Fringe. I don't know if you guys have watched Fringe at all. We've been watching it on Netflix. This is our second time watching it. We've caught a lot of things watching it. The second time through, we watched it 2 years ago. The interesting thing to us is we do not remember the latter part. We do not remember like the latter part of season 3 and most of 4. And I think the reason is because when we watched it the first time through, we were watching 1 or 2 episodes a week. But then we got towards the end, it was winter, it was cold, we didn't want to go outside, and it was so intense that we were binge watching 3 to 4 episodes a night. And so what happened is I think we took it in, but we didn't really take it in as much as we did the first. So we've been just trying to watch 1 or 2 episodes a week, or just 1 episode a night, which we've done. But this upcoming week, I've got my list of goals, and the thing is, I write them down. I put them right here. I wrote down my goals for the week. If you want to see them, there you go. You can pause it and try to read it. Good luck. And the one thing that I've been really lacking on is not reading as much as I would like to. So I'm going to try to watch less TV, less Netflix, less YouTube, and read more. One of the big goals starting tonight is actually, I've got a book. I'm going to put it on my nightstand. I'm going to read it before I go to sleep, because what I've been doing is watching YouTube or reading things on my tablet, which they say does something up here and then doesn't let you sleep as good. But the one thing I've done really good at, and I've talked about this before, sometimes when you have goals, it's all about tweaking. And me and Nate talked about this in Let's Talk a couple weeks ago. Right now we're doing Let's Talk every other week, and hopefully we'll get it up to where we're doing it every week, but we're trying to build up our ideas and what we want to do. And I really love the fact that Nate's helping me out with this, and he's part of it, a bigger part of it now. And I feel that that really makes Let's Talk a better show. And I've thought about doing the end of the week ramblings. I've thought about kind of doing it maybe beginning of the week, mid of the week, but I haven't decided yet. Let me know. If you like that idea of me doing this like 3 times a week instead of once a week, let me know. The editing part of this, because end of the week ramblings, sometimes I do a different time. You know, I try to put like the picture up in here somewhere, like right there, and I've stopped doing that. Mainly because I can edit it a lot quicker, and I feel like this is more raw. This is not so much like, it's not like Let's Talk. Well, Let's Talk takes me a good 2 to 3 hours to edit because I have to do a couple things to it. So it's a little longer. This process is pretty quick and simple, and normally I can upload it pretty quick. So I'm thinking about just doing like a rambling thing. Anywho, one of my goals is to read more, and this is something me and Autumn both want to do because we're in the process of trying to have a kid, and I think I've went through the whole adoption thing and all that, and maybe someday I'll go more in depth. But there's another video about the adoption and how that chaotic mess was, learning process. But anyhow, because we've now learned that a lot of things that 5 years ago they didn't know about Autumn's heart condition, that they now know it's actually very safe for her to have a child, where 5 years ago, or that was probably longer than 5 years ago, it was probably 8, because it was a couple years into our marriage we had that all checked out, and they were like, oh no, you don't want to do this, it's very dangerous. And now they're like, no, it's not as dangerous, we found all this out. So anyways, the one thing is, I always look at what went wrong. And so when I was trying to figure out, exercise in the morning, I started doing my devotions first, then exercising at work. But now that I'm actually waking up early, like I get up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to try to slowly switch to working out first, then doing my devotions, because then I'll I feel like I'll have more time. I won't feel like I'm watching the clock. I always feel like I'm watching the clock to make sure I don't go past 7:15 on my devotions. But if I get up, do my workout, shower, I should be ready to do my devotions and all of that by 7 o'clock. And then even when I work if I have to be at work at 9 o'clock, it's not that big of a deal. Autumn makes breakfast most mornings. And it used to be I made the breakfast, but now she's making it. And so that saves me time and I can do other things. So that's one of the things I'm trying to switch so I can have just a more deep and intimate devotion time than what I feel like I've been having. And I can just get up first thing in the morning, get my workout done. Gradually, I kind of want to work out a little longer. Right now I'm doing the max 30 and that's great. I don't know if I'm going to go right from max 30 to running, kind of see what the weather's doing, because what I'd like to eventually do is run and do max 30, so I get about an hour-long workout in, but I might try to do one round of Asylum, because I'll be done at the end of February. I'll be done with max 30, so I'll have my 60 days in, and then I'll have March, and March is usually a pretty sloppy month. End of March we've got vacation and we're going back to DC, and I'm excited about that because I really like Washington DC. So it's probably going to be the last time we go to DC before having a kid. And the thing is, it's not that we're never going to go back to DC, but the one thing we've decided is we want to save certain places till our child is like 5 or 6 to go to, so they can remember it and understand what's going on. And until then, we'll probably just go back to going to the lake a lot in the summer. One of our favorite vacation spots is Lake Erie in the Sandusky area. There's lots to do. There's Cedar Point, although we're going to have a kid, which Cedar Point's not going to be so easy when you have a little baby, because they frown upon you putting the baby strapped in with you on the roller coaster, and they don't like you putting him in the little bins while you run. It's the way it is. They don't like it. And I don't blame them. There was a guy, I read this article, it was last summer I think, that actually got in a roller coaster. I don't know if it was at Cedar Point or Kings Island or where it was, and started to strap himself in with his child strapped in on one of those things. And I don't think they let him ride it. I think they called the authorities and they got there before they started the ride. I mean, I would think that would be a lot of issues if you let them do that. But that is just insane. So anyways, the other thing I want to try to start doing is writing a blog. I want to get that started. I don't know. Get that all typed out. It's one of the things I used to do. I really enjoy doing. I'm just trying to manage my time a lot better and read a lot more. What else? What else? I don't think there's much more. A couple football games on tomorrow that should be fun to watch. I may watch a little bit of them. I'm not a big NFL fan. I love college football, but I'm not a huge NFL fan. I'm just not. If that offends you, so be it. No, I think that's it. Baseball season's coming up. The Tigers, another huge. I think they're going to make a run for the title again this year. I don't know if they can do it. We got to see how their pitching is, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey, we're running fairly long on this, so I should probably end it. Hey, if you like this, please subscribe. Subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Put it on Facebook, Twitter, all of that. I'm on Facebook. I'll put that down there. I don't do a lot on Facebook anymore. I do a little more on Twitter. I need to try to maybe get a little more active on that stuff. But hey, you guys have a good week. Subscribe, like, share on all your platforms of instant media, social media. Twitter, twit me, all of that. Twitter, twit me. There is no twit me, just Twitter. All right, hey, it's been fun, guys. You guys have a good week. We'll talk to you later. We'll have Let's Talk Out later next week around Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. It's going to be on encouragement, so be on the lookout for that. We'll talk to you later. Bye.